Hi everyone and welcome back to another video with me Shruti Vashisht. You're watching Living Our Ascension. So actually in this video I'm going to be sharing an Ascension update, and there's these really powerful frequencies that are landing on the planet now, and last night I was integrating them, and I want to speak to what's happening. It has to do with the vibration of truth, of complete freedom, and that's really landing in a powerful way, and many of you might be feeling it as well. So I just want to give voice to that and explain what's happening, from my perspective. So if you'd like to hear that, then please keep watching this video, subscribe to this channel if you'd like to receive more videos like this. I make them all the time. Also, before I jump into the topic, I want to let you know that it's the first day that my course is out, my very first course, and I've been speaking about this course, but it wasn't out before that. You were able to pre-order it, but now you can get it immediately as soon as you order it. So it's the first day and I'm just so excited. So please have a look at that course. It's called Manifest Soulmate Relationships. It's all about manifesting that true union with another person, the highest union that you can have in this physical body. The union of truth, the union of love, the union of that twin soul that we feel inside of us. That's actually very, very possible on the planet right now. I just haven't named it that. I called it the frequency of the soulmate, which really is the same thing. And through this course, you'll be able to land relationships that are not just it's not only for your one partner, it's reforming all of your relationships. Although the main focus of the course is that your partner, like your life partner, but really the course is much more than that. So check out the details below this video. It's also, this course is for those who are already partnered and they want to transform the relationship dynamics. If you have been on the path of ascension, you know that anything is possible, and you create your own reality. So you can recreate, you can reshape the physical world around you, including the people, without influencing their free will. But it's about the space that you create, you see. If you intend for a certain thing to happen in your life, it has to be, and anybody who is a part of your reality has to sort of align with that, and whatever is for the highest good then manifests. So anyway, have a look at that course. It's really in-depth. It's a 30-day course. You have access to all the materials. It's lifetime access to all the materials, but it's intended to be completed over a month if a person intends that. And there's all kinds of things in it. There's 5.5 hours of video. Each chapter, there's like over 30 chapters, and those 30 chapters have exercises, practical exercises. They have videos and like text as well. So the main focus is embodiment. As you know, my work is about embodiment. But on this channel, you have noticed probably that I speak a lot about spiritual principles. So in my course, it's of course I'm using spiritual principles, but I'm using very basic language. So you don't need to know anything about spirituality. You just have to follow along. So I also have all kinds of personal services. Check that out also below this video. There's even a free course, a free mini course that's there for manifesting soulmate love that you can check out. Okay, so now let's move into the subject of this video. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to title this video yet. I think it'll be something like Ascension, for ascending souls, the new normal. What is your new normal? And the new normal for us is about choosing truth, is about living in truth. And I'm going to explain how exactly that's landing now. So last night I was just walking here. I like to take walks when it's pretty late at night, because these days it's very, very humid and hot during the day. So the only time that I can think about being here, aside from when I come to film videos, is during those hours. And something's been happening when I come late at night, when everybody's asleep. It's past midnight and stuff. It's almost like, because I work with ascension energies, and I have for so many years, And of course, you know, those of you who are here for this purpose, you know, it's not just how many years you have realized this. It's like your own physical body. You were born for this, so you've been doing it always just by breathing and existing. But of course it becomes much more potent when we're also aware of what's happening. But I've been feeling what is happening in the collective. It's almost like everybody's sleeping at that time, and you know, all of the subconscious, because everything's quiet at the same time, but people's fears and the collective energies, it's almost like there's more of an access to it. And when I'm walking, I can feel that, you know, through my own thoughts sometimes. And it's not always something negative. It's also what the collective desire is for this complete freedom, you know, the search for what is the answer to everything that's happening. You know, things are chaotic, things are going wrong, and people are realizing this, and they want the answer, and they deeply just crave this freedom and love and just balance and peace, right? So so I feel it in a way that I can't really explain in words. But for me, because I'm a light pillar, integration happens through light pillars, and many of you watching this, of course, are also light pillars. So I wanted to speak about what exactly we are integrating now and how we are helping Ascension at this time. So one thing to realize is that you know, in the news and the collective, the media, there's all of these different realities that are playing out. I've been speaking about this in my different videos, that, you know, we of course are living in a different reality from the collective, and that is what we choose. But I would advise you to not tap into those lower realities by watching too much news, or listening to what everybody's saying, doing what everybody's doing, and you know, the middle path is the path of enlightenment, and the middle path is about balance. So it means that, for example, I may not necessarily believe, you know, that wearing masks all the time and some of the things that are being mandated by the governments is completely correct. You know, like there's all of these images floating around now where everybody's wearing a mask, and there's something inherently weird about that, isn't it? Like it's kind of like you're saying, I am just this person who's just going to follow whatever orders are given to me. I'm not going to question anything. Almost like a herd of sheep, like all doing the same thing, you know, like following the herd. And I do see, of course, you know, that there's a disease and all of that, although I think that it's been manufactured as well. So, how do we choose what to do within that? So, of course, like for me, for example, I always choose the middle path. So I know where my truth is, but at the same time, you know, there are certain things that I need to do. Like when I step out and I'm going out, I will wear a mask, but at the same time, it's not something you won't see posts of me, you know, making posts saying wear a mask, be safe, be home, and all of those things that they're trying to propagate. So it's kind of like, you know, the planet that we live on right now, it's the energies are very warlike. And when you are within like a war setting, and this is the 3D reality, I'm not saying you have to live in a war, but we'll get to that. So first we're talking about kind of like what's happening in the 3D and how we're navigating that. So when you are almost like in a war zone, there has to be some protection that you do. You can't be like, you know, I stand in truth and I know I'm completely protected, so I just go, and it doesn't matter that there's guns, people are firing guns, and you're just walking, you know, like this superhero. That is not what your superhero power is all about. It's not that, it's not about, you know, this physical, like showing off physically or something. It has to do with the power of love, you know, something that we are first landing at an internal level. Because when we are in service, there may come a time in our future, in the future of humanity, I don't know how many millennia later or centuries later, that we can work at that level where you are walking through a war zone, let's say, although I don't think there'll be war zones at that time, but if you are doing that, then physically even a bullet can't penetrate you. But the powers that we are given now, even with a certain level of our enlightenment, the powers that we are given, they are all about service. So they're all about what does the collective need. The collective needs that more soft power, that combination of love, that soft opening up that then leads to truth. The real truth comes through, the real principles come through, then real direction, real rules, real law can come through only after that, after the heart expands through that softness. The feminine principle first comes in, and then the higher masculine comes in and replaces all of these lower masculine frequencies and lower feminine as well that have played out on the planet, you see. So the first thing to know is to choose the middle path, whatever that means to you. It's about balance. But you have to know where your truth lies, and then within that, what the highest truth is, rather than just believing this mass reality and whatever's being fed to us. You have to feel within your body what truth is, and then choose within that, as you are navigating the third dimensional world around you, how you can most authentically live that truth in a way that is harmonious, that doesn't cause too much conflict in your life as well, because you also want to be able to relax. It's not just about I'm here to serve and just action. I'm here to save the planet, and then you're exhausted just through action. Again, that's this energy kind of like of the lower masculine as well, where it's all action. So you have to allow love first to yourself, and know that whatever is being allowed to you, this superpower that you have, this protection that you have under truth, under love, that you have activated, it is within the degree and the realm of whatever is highest for the collective right now. What the collective needs to see is people who are a certain way, maybe let's say who are trying to live an authentic life within society. Like I keep speaking about in my other videos, they're not just going off into the mountains and living there in a cave, but they are within society, and even through their so-called struggles or efforts, whatever it is, how they then make it, how they are able to live a balanced life, how it's very humble essentially. So you need to be that humble example. This is why even though you are anchoring these really high vibrations, you're not like powering your way through all these bullets coming, if that makes sense. Okay, so that was my first point, is how to navigate the third dimension within the within this frequency of the middle path, within choosing the middle path. So you have to know that there is no war and there are no restrictions, however, because again, that's being fed to the collective. For example, I live in India, and I spoke about this in one of my videos recently, that there was like this war thing, frequencies that were trying to be activated, like China sort of attacked India, a portion of India, at least this is what was on the news, and then I think India has imposed some sanctions, and like that app TikTok has been blocked apparently in India because it's a Chinese app. And so there was this fear amongst the collective essentially, that what will happen, both these countries have nuclear weapons, and will it be the end of the world, or will there be a war and stuff. And I want you to know, if you are watching this, if you are serving Ascension, if you have come here, like all of those volunteer souls that have come here to serve the ascension of the planet at this time, we have had realities in the past where there were nuclear wars, where there were like World War I, II, whatever, and then there was this mass almost like the subconscious of the masses asked for peace and asked for a solution, and asked like that, we want love, we want peace. And then how that answer comes about is in the form of people who want love. This is you and me. This is the people who are holding the light now. This is the people who are holding love. So if you yourself forget this, and you start to believe the mass reality that, what if there's war, and that is running the show in your heart, and you are insecure, then this won't bring you fulfillment, because this is not why you came to this planet. And it'll kind of affect everything in your life, your relationships, your purpose. You won't feel fulfilled in any of them, and you'll wonder why, because maybe you're even earning lots of money, but there'll be no fulfillment, because your main purpose for coming here is to be in service, is to know that all is well. All is well. So you have to know that there is a part of you deep inside of you that knows that everything is well. There is this grand order that we belong to. And the reason that you came here in the first place, if the world had to be destroyed through nuclear weapons, it would have happened before. You see, I mean, look at how irresponsible we are as a planet, how we behave. And there's nuclear weapons around, and yet, you know, it survived so far. It's a miracle, isn't it? The way that we fight with each other, the way that we discriminate. Just, you know, we look at another person, they have a different skin color, and we want to kill them. I mean, so so that is the level that we have been at. And yet, so there is this higher order that exists, and actually a lot of spiritual books also speak about this, and people like the work of Dolores Cannon, who did this, who used to do like regressions on people. She would take certain souls or certain people into regression, into like a past life regression, and they would speak about how they came to the earth, and many of these turned out to be volunteer souls, and they were speaking about they had this remembrance of how they came to earth. So in that also it was revealed, and you know, like it was many people speaking about the same thing when they are not conscious. So it's not like something that is manufactured that people are lying about, like this is a regression that's happening, and they're all saying the same story essentially. Not all, but you know, like many, like she found this pattern that many people are saying this. So there's this truth that is there. But essentially something also that was revealed as part of that, and other spiritual books have also spoken about, is that nuclear war is not allowed on this planet. So you can rest assured, you know, feel secure that it's not going to be destroyed like that. That's not, why would you be here? Ask yourself this. If you are here and you feel that call within your heart, you know that you know the change is here, and chaos often happens, the worst of chaos happens just at the brink of when there's the highest light landing. And that is why, because we're seeing such an accelerated change constantly, so there is more chaos. And this is kind of like the new normal, you see. If you're waiting for that time, when will things get stable? They won't. You know, maybe it'll be for a while, things will get stable, and then they won't, and whatever. But it's going to be up and down. The stability is within you, and you have to know this, that actually there is going to be more chaos. If you are going with those ups and downs that the media is creating, that the masses are experiencing, because I've spoken about this before in my other videos, that the third dimension as we knew it does not exist anymore. Those duality does not exist. The foundations, the foundational structures for it that were supporting it for so many years, centuries, whatever, is gone. It's not there. So what you're seeing is these remnants just floating around. So if you're attaching to those something that doesn't have a solid foundation, guess what you're going to experience? It's going to be more and more and more chaos. And they're only going to get more chaotic for that reason. What has landed, however, and the foundation that the earth is now lies upon, is fifth dimensional frequencies. So when you know that, that is where you will find stability. When you know all is always well. This is the fifth dimensional and higher vibration. That all is always well. There is a higher order. See, duality is part of the matrix, the human-made web that is formed. You know, how the structures that we have created, and these are not only physical structures, meaning like cities and all of these human structures that we have created, but also these energetic structures that we have created. You know, the thoughts that we have, the negative things, the subconscious beliefs, the limiting beliefs, like we believe that we can only succeed if we have this job, and if I work in this job I can only have this amount of money, and this is the only, like, this is me, and I'm limited in this way. I live in this country, therefore I can only experience this reality. I am this gender, this race, therefore this is all I can get. Whatever it is. Or I have this disease and it's incurable. The world has told me it's incurable, therefore that's it. This is my reality. And the thing is that none of these things are your reality. Your reality is what you choose. And so you have to know that those structures are human made. It's called the Matrix. That's why that movie was so popular as well. But when we start to peek out of the matrix, and usually this happens through this dark night of the soul period, where we are experiencing this chaos and, you know, this hopelessness or whatever, and we are sort of peeking out of it, we start to see the truth, and that is the fifth dimensional frequencies starting to come into our body. So when we hit that, the fifth dimensional frequency is the creatrix, the the order of creation, the natural flow. Like you see in nature, there's this natural flow, and you see how nature is taking over now. It's reclaiming. We had destroyed it, through this imbalance that we had created in the world with the consumption and everything that's happening, global warming, or I don't know, whatever, all of those things. But you see how the natural order is taking over again. It's like the whole world came to a halt, came to a standstill because of this disease, because of the imbalances that we have had. That's part of it, right? So you see, there's this natural order that you are part of. When you know yourself as that natural order and not as this duality and this dualistic order, when you know that there is that one singularity that you are part of, that there is this one truth that exists, that is complete freedom, where you are completely infinite, where everything is always all right, everything is always fine. Energy is just transforms from one form to another. It can never be created nor destroyed. That means you cannot die in the way that you know it. So all of those fears that you have, that I won't survive, I won't make it, they don't really exist at that level. So when we're able to really feel that in the body, and I'm not saying you have to perfectly, you can never feel any fear. But when you're feeling it, recognize that that is part of what the collective is feeling. And perhaps what you are feeling as a light pillar, the reason you are feeling that is to reform that. You are that space that helps that to transform, which is why if you are waiting for that time when things will be stable, you'll never feel any fear. It won't come, because your purpose here is to hold truth, is to hold balance, is to hold presence whenever those fear realities do come. So the new normal for ascending souls and those who are holding the light, essentially you have to know it's about this complete freedom, this complete power that is given to you. And that is why you might be feeling more of these feelings of very deep feelings of frustration and lack. And you have to know that when the deeper that you're feeling those feelings, that means the deeper the power that is landing, because it's kind of like you're going further down. If you think about it, into the earth, if you think of us as grounded people with our feet solidly on the ground and the core of connected to the core of the earth, you're going deeper. Your power is anchoring deeper into the planet. Your roots are going deeper, and when you hit a space that you have never been to before, that you haven't claimed yet, more fears come up, and they are more intense because they are deeper. But at the same time, you have more power to actually transform within that. And that's how you claim it. Then when you, within that moment of fear, when you choose that, no, I am free, this is not me. These restrictions that I'm feeling, that, I live here and I can't have this, or I wish that I could create this in my life. I wish that I could do what I'm passionate about, or whatever it might be. When the 3D reality shows to you that you can't have that for some reason because of your external physical environment or your physical reality, when the frustration is building up within you like it is now, that means that is a freedom rite of passage happening for you, a truth rite of passage happening for you. The vibration of truth, which is the highest, one of the highest vibrations, the higher masculine. It has to do with complete and utter freedom, complete and utter power and autonomy. Of course, now because we are on this planet, then that means that we can move as the master completely freely. So if you are feeling that, I just want to tell you that the reason is that there is more power landing in you. So claim within that I am freedom. Wake up within that dream and claim, I am freedom, I am truth, I belong to a greater order, all is well. Know that, move as that in the world, within the balance of so you have to know that always as that one single truth in your heart. that all is always perfect, always well. And when you move in the outer world, like I explained at the beginning of this video, you work, you know, through the middle path. And that is our new normal, essentially, because that is how we come into the greatest level of power. And I can't tell you, I mean, because it's just started happening last night when I was really feeling it, and it came through in our reading as well for this week, you know, this new power that is landing, this raw power of the earth. So because it's only happening now, I don't have that many words for it, but you know, when I feel more, I will make more videos. But for now, I just wanted to let you know that if that's what you're feeling, it's the time to claim that no, I am freedom. No, I know what my truth is. So claim that you are completely and entirely free, and you will be surprised just how things turn around. Watch my video on changing the weather. I'll link it up there. You know, it's because it's good inspiration for things that we feel that we have no control over, like the weather or, you know, the pollution and whatever, and how you can change even those things, because your outer reality shifts when you claim something inside. Okay, so so that is essentially, those were the points that I wanted to tell you. The main thing to take home is that there is this just new level of power landing in a way that I haven't felt before. And yeah, so know that you are free, know that you are complete freedom. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Check out all of those links I spoke about at the beginning of the video, and my new course. And yeah, let me know what videos you'd like to see from me, and I'll catch you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to